Hey everyone, so today we are going to be discussing misconceptions and dispelling some common myths about successful rich people. And the thing about this is that I still see a lot of people who are quote unquote successful to a certain degree. They have certain levels of these misconceptions still, some to a great degree, which is surprising. And I think the reason is because there's different gradients of success in different areas of your life. And, you know, just because someone's a millionaire does not mean that he's accomplished everything or, is godlike and perfect. And he can have a lot of flaws, mistakes, limiting beliefs still. And that can prevent him from getting to the 2 million mark or 3 million or 10 million mark, or it can prevent him from having happiness or success or health or anything else in terms of relationships and real authentic girls in their lives and all sorts of stuff that they lack because they don't have certain real qualities. And heck, they could have just gotten lucky in getting that money. So the first myth I want to tell you about is the fact that rich people are godlike and near perfect in everything they do. And it seems like common sense, but you would be surprised. Whoever's watching this, I would guarantee you that you have some subconscious movement towards this belief. And oftentimes it's more just a survival and reproduction gene that's sort of gravitating you to people like this, and sort of psychological authoritative biases because of their success to, swoon over them or just absorb whatever they have as gospel. And part of that is obviously beneficial, which is why it's in our genetics. It obviously has some sort of higher probability of making ourselves more likely to survive and reproduce and prosper and maybe have more resources or achieve more happiness or gain whatever we need to achieve survival and reproduction. But aside from that, it's really not the truth. I think one of the biggest things, and it's interesting because I was listening to this success podcast called Addicted to Success. It's pretty successful. It has 500,000 followers on Twitter and 250,000 on Facebook, and it's quite successful. Although I would say that the Twitter account's also following back 500,000 people, so it's kind of like you kind of got that only from following others, but still he got it. And the point, the message behind it is that he has a great successful blog built off of this, and he was offered $1 million. And he turned that down because of his blog and his passion for his blog. And he's doing these podcasts interviewing these millionaires and entrepreneurs and successful people in the health industry and so forth. And unfortunately, what I came across, I admire what he does, but I came across this, I guess you could call it a misconception that he keeps bringing up, which is this whole thing about how I read this statistic about the top 3 common habits after 100 millionaires were surveyed, and the number 1 habit was they all had some fitness regimen on a weekly basis that they conducted, and then he went on and on about how fitness and health is very important to success, and it's almost a requirement for success. And that's where I started getting uneasy because, absolutes like that never really happen in real life. There's always exceptions, and generalizations only cover the majority, or oftentimes not even the majority of a population you're generalizing about. And then he sort of went on about saying how it's a requirement, and he, all these successful rich people he knows have good fitness, and I'm like, oh, wait, hold up there. Oftentimes, generalizing, it's generally true. That's kind of how stereotypes come about. A lot of people are there to fulfill stereotypes, but it's not everyone. Like, if you think all Asians are smart, you're going to be surprised one day when you assume one's smart, and then you hire him, and then he screws you over because he's dumb. And so that misconception with how all rich people are very fit and healthy. That's something that's not really true. The truth is that rich people are good at getting rich. That doesn't mean that they're good at anything else. They could be pretty darn average at everything else, from golfing to writing letters or emails to tweeting to SEO to copywriting to sales to human resources, anything. They could be average in everything except for that craft or skill that achieved their wealth. And to extend that to make them a godlike or goddess-like status, I think Oprah is a great example of someone who naturally emanates that and makes people think that she's great at everything. It's not true. And Paul Brunson, a man who apprenticed and I think worked for Oprah for several years, he remarked on that in one of his articles on his blog. How she's not perfect at everything. She's pretty average at many other stuff, but she has certain habits that have created wealth and success for her, like surrounding herself with amazing, smart, successful people that help her along, and being very good at what she does, which is interview people. And I'll give you two examples of people who are not healthy at all, who have extreme wealth. They're the number one and number two richest people in America right now, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. Both of them who are committing all, if not most of their money to charity by the time they die or after they die. And both of these individuals, especially Warren Buffett, are very, very unhealthy. And it's one of those things that I think a lot of people are biased when they bring him up. They say he's healthy and fit. And it's very strange because I'll be listening to podcasts and stuff, and all of a sudden they'll just weave into it like, oh yeah, and Warren, he works out a lot, and he's very fit. I heard he eats junk food, but he works it off. And I've heard this numerous times from people in person, successful people in person, or people online through podcasts and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, all the other stuff you said was on point, but where the heck did you get this information from? It's not true at all. Warren Buffett, he eats a lot of junk food on a daily basis. Fritos, chips, Lay's. He drinks several Cokes every day. He owns a majority stake in Coca-Cola, and he loves the product. He eats, he oftentimes on a weekly basis eats a bag full of chocolate truffles, and all sorts of stuff. I can go on. And there's so much evidence online for it. Like, if you don't believe me, you can search it up. There's videos of him admitting to this, and he still does it. There's a recently in his annual shareholder meeting of the last year, and this guy's like 82 or something. He went into the interview before the annual meeting with a McDonald's bag that had two double quarter pounders inside. And I'm not like faulting him for this. He's a very admirable man that I respect on many different levels, on how he is with his family and his lifestyle and what he defines as happiness and success. But you can't fall into this misconception that these people are perfect and all this sort of stuff. And it's a great example. And again, you shouldn't use this as an example for, oh, look at this guy, he can eat all this junk food and he's lived for so long. You can't depend on these exceptions to generalize on the average or the most highest chance. You're better off eating healthier, exercising, and from all the scientific studies and results and experimentations and scholarly articles that I have read on health and fitness and aerobic exercise, and the courses I've taken in exercise physiology and stuff like that, I have found that you have a much higher chance probabilistically of eating healthy, devoting to a consistent regimen of daily or semi-daily aerobic exercise, to living the longest rather than what Warren Buffett does. So, you know, he may have gotten lucky. Maybe his body for some reason allowed him to survive despite all the junk food he's eating, but it's probably cutting away years more than helping him. But for someone like Warren, I think his philosophy behind it, he remarked on how he would rather shave a few years off and enjoy life now with the foods that he have, rather than, you know, starve himself or, you know, keep himself away from fitness. The rest of us can most likely find a healthy medium where we can still enjoy some good tasting foods that aren't that healthy occasionally, or maybe there are foods out there that are healthy and good tasting. You just have to find them. But yeah, that's all I really want to say about this topic, and I can go on and on, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching. Please share this with someone you think would benefit from this. I know you probably think of someone. I know you know of someone that could benefit from this video, and the best thing you could do is share this with them and get them to share it with other people. And as always, leave it a like if you like this video, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. I'll see you in my next video. See ya.